Hello peeps, hello. Today I'm doing a bit of a makeshift cryptocurrency video because family commitments and all that, and I haven't got much time, and unfortunately, so this is the makeshift. This is Studio Lasupo, man. So that's what it looks like. This is the green screen, so blah blah blah. Yo peeps, smash up the likes, by the way, guys. Smash up the likes. This is important. Okay? Mainly important for those people who say cryptocurrency, it's not real money, is it? Bitcoin, it's not real money. Because I was talking to my dad the other day. I said this yesterday, where I was essentially speaking to my father. He's getting all these emails that say, oh, Bitcoin, invest in Bitcoin. And my dad doesn't really understand Bitcoin. Okay, so I said, Dad, how much do you know about Bitcoin? He was like, I get emails every day about Bitcoin. I said, do you know what Bitcoin is? He was like, no, it's just something you invest in, right? Because my dad gets, he gets like phone calls all the time. Oh, invest in this, invest in that, invest in wine, invest in something or other. So he gets all these investment opportunities called to him, all the time, right? So I said to him, so do you know what cryptocurrency is? He's like, no. You know what Bitcoin is? No. But it's not real, is it? It's not real money. Hello Dale. Hello Shock and all. Garrow, blah, blah, blah. So he said it's not real, is it? Important news, peeps. Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin is spendable. Okay, with my 10x card, which I don't have on me, it's in my coat. Or it's in my wallet, actually. But my non-cryptocurrency wallet, my physical wallet, the inferior wallet, the one where you keep your fiat money and your cards and stuff. The fact of the matter is, it is spendable. You can put your Bitcoin onto a 10x card and you can spend it. I've spent it. I bought a McDonald's, as you know. I've bought all sorts of things with my 10x card. And it is spendable. Now, right now, Bitcoin is worth 15,400. Okay, about 6 weeks ago, when I gave to my son, I gave him 1 Bitcoin, right? And I said to him, he really began to understand the value of Bitcoin, what you can buy with Bitcoin, right? Now, I said to him, right now it's worth $6,000, but it goes up. The price goes up all the time. The price, in 3 years' time is rumored to go up to 6, maybe 7 figures. Okay, so what that means is that versus fiat money, okay, which is where, my father has his money, for instance, and most people have their money, okay, they've got it on their credit card or on their debit cards, and that's how they spend it, right? But let's just say today, you've got 6,000, you've got 1 Bitcoin, which is $15,000, yeah? If you've got $15,000 in your normal account, then in, let's say in 2 years' time, that $15,000 based on interest rates may turn into 16. It all depends on how good the interest rate is. And to be honest, in the UK, the interest rate's terrible. So in that respect, 15,000 will turn into 16,000, 17,000 at absolute most, right? With Bitcoin, if you've got 15,000 right now in Bitcoin, that 15,000 in 3 years' time could be $1 million. All right. So it's a currency that is always appreciating without you having to make an effort. You just need to hold the thing. You need to put it in a wallet. And the other day, I showed you on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have looked on my Twitter. I'd implore you to follow me on Twitter. And I put a picture of me in a Range Rover Evoque the other day. And in that, and it's £54,000, right? Now, I would have to keep working. If I was just in an ordinary job, let's say I worked as an administrator, or let's say I worked as mechanic or something like that, I would have to have about 4 years salary to make that 15,000 in savings, to top it up to about 60,000, 70,000, right? To be able to buy that Range Rover Evoque. For being a Bitcoin holder, really, all I need to do is just hold my Bitcoin for another 2 years and I'll be able to buy it. I won't need to work. I won't need to top up my, my fiat. And the thing with Bitcoin is it is spendable, and a lot of people just think it's a real currency. Now, obviously, you guys in the Bitcoin market, you know this, okay? But it's just having a perspective of why you should hold on to your Bitcoin, because you will be able to afford stuff. You will be able to essentially not have to work, and the value of it just keep going up and up and up without having to do anything to make it go up and up. The market will make it go up and up. So fundamentally, holding Bitcoin, and I mean, it's the same with some of the alts over the course of 3-4 years. Some of them will be, perhaps around about 5 figures like Bitcoin is. You don't know that necessarily, but Bitcoin certainly is one that is going to keep on appreciating. And if you have 15,000, which at the moment seems quite a lot, this morning it was $13,000. But, at the end of the day, just holding one Bitcoin could be enough to retire on in the future. Having a Bitcoin is probably one of the best ways, really, to just retire. Because it's going to go up in the same way a salary does if you're working in fiat money, if your life is dictated by fiat money. So there we are. So all I'm basically saying is make sure you have at least one Bitcoin owned. Okay, that's all I'll say. Now, I know, as I said, altcoins, I would make sure that you are constantly investing in altcoins, constantly increasing your position in Bitcoin. But fundamentally, own one Bitcoin. Just make sure you do, because, literally about 3 weeks ago, it was half the price it is now. It's doubled. It's basically somebody's salary has been added onto it in literally just the last couple of weeks. A full year's salary for some people has been added on in just the last few weeks. Now, with Bitcoin futures, there's going to be some volatility. Nobody can accurately say what is going to happen. All right, so in which case, to say, it's going to crash, you don't know that. But fundamentally, Bitcoin prices are going to keep continuing to flourish. So my advice really is, and this isn't financial advice, this is in my non-financial advice role, is just own one Bitcoin, okay? Own one Bitcoin and just watch it appreciate. Keep on trying to add to that. And that's really all there is to say on the matter. And don't be too worried about what's going on, because, well, somebody's just said, try and own a partial Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, try and own a partial Bitcoin, but use alts really to be trying to afford at least one Bitcoin in future. So if you've got one objective, make sure that with your altcoin trading or investing, that you take some profits every now and again to make sure that you own at least one Bitcoin. There are people that say 0.1 Bitcoin will be enough to retire on one day, and that I think is going to be true. But I would make it a mission to try and at least have one Bitcoin within the next few months. Try as best as you can to try and get out one Bitcoin. Because the benefits of having one Bitcoin versus your fiat currency, I try not to hold too much fiat currency. Because, it doesn't appreciate. What's the point? The money I make from Udemy, if I just put it all into Bitcoin, it's essentially doubling. Instead of just leaving it staying safe. So that's what I would say. Let's become millionaires, people. 10 Litecoins. Litecoin has actually really grown. $142. Literally, it was $93 on Friday. That just goes to show you, cryptocurrency is very, very worthwhile, and you can always convert it into Bitcoin, which can be used for spending. So just try and increase your position in Bitcoin. Right, peeps, thank you for joining me. 1.3 thousand people watching. Smash up the likes, peeps. Smash up the likes. Do people ever mistake you for Alexis Sanchez? No, they don't. Well, they do. Yeah, some people say I look like Alexis Sanchez. I personally don't follow football, so I don't really know. But just try and strengthen your position in Bitcoin, peeps. That's what I will say. That's what I would say is an objective you should have over the next few months. Have at least one Bitcoin. Well, that's it, guys. I've now got to go and do my family duties. So I hope that this important information has got through to you and spread the word. Let people know, because your parents, your brothers, sisters, children may not know that Bitcoin isn't just this name, brand name. It's an actual spendable asset that's worth owning. Make sure you own it. That's it, guys. that is the end of today's video. Make sure you leave in the comments how much, don't necessarily say how much Bitcoin you've got, but are you going to attempt to have at least one Bitcoin in your balance over the coming months? Let me know in the comments. And if you don't think Bitcoin, what do you think is worth holding that is going to be the equivalent of being able to make a salary, essentially a full person's salary every few months? That's it, guys. Thanks for being here with me today on this episode of Savage Cash. Peace out, peeps. Adios.